You think your backyard looks peaceful. Grass, trees, a feeder, maybe a bird bath. But to a bird, your yard may look less like a garden and more like a glowing survival map, because birds are not seeing the same yard you are. They are seeing colors you physically cannot see, tracking motion faster than your brain can process, reading your behavior through systems humans simply do not possess. And once you understand what your home actually looks like through a bird's eyes, you may never step outside the same way again. Start with color. Humans see the world through three primary color channels: red, green, and blue. Birds, in many species, have four. That fourth channel allows them to perceive ultraviolet light, wavelengths completely invisible to us but critical to them, which means your yard contains signals everywhere that you cannot perceive at all. That plain patch of grass. To some birds, it may contain ultraviolet contrasts revealing seed trails, insects, and plant health, lit up like a neon map. That ordinary sparrow at your feeder. Studies suggest many birds display elaborate feather markings visible only to other birds, patterns entirely hidden from human sight. So from the moment a bird enters your yard, it is already reading information that has been invisible to you your entire life. But color is only part of it. Birds also process visual change at extraordinary speeds. Scientists measure this through something called the flicker fusion rate, essentially how quickly a visual system detects movement and change. For several bird species, this rate appears significantly faster than ours. So what looks like one sudden movement to you is a sequence of highly trackable, clearly visible events to them. A cat shifting in grass, a branch twitching, your hand reaching toward a door. Your backyard is not scenery. To a bird, it is a high-speed information environment, constantly scanned, constantly evaluated, every second of every visit. And there is another layer most people never consider. Many birds do not just see your yard. They integrate it into larger navigational systems, sun position, landmarks, polarized light, and in some species, Earth's magnetic field itself. Scientists are still studying exactly how some of these systems work, but what is clear is this: when a bird approaches your home, it is not wandering. It is navigating with extraordinary precision, which means your yard is not merely a backyard. It can become part of a remembered map, a reliable stop, a feeding zone, a safe corridor, or a place to avoid entirely. The difference between those two outcomes depends almost entirely on what your yard communicates when a bird arrives. And this is where it becomes personal. Because birds are not only evaluating your yard, they are evaluating you, your consistency, your speed, your patterns. Research across urban wildlife repeatedly shows that animals adapt to human routines, distinguishing between low-threat and high-threat behavior with remarkable accuracy. So when you move through your yard calmly, when food appears consistently, when water is clean, when sudden disturbances are rare, you may be communicating something powerful to every bird watching from the trees. This place is stable. This human is safe. This yard is worth returning to. Think about what that means for a moment. Your neighborhood has dozens of homes, hundreds of yards, thousands of windows and feeders and bird baths, and yet certain birds keep returning to yours, not randomly. A wild animal has looked at everything available to it, every yard on your street, every feeder within its territory, and it has chosen your space as worth coming back to. That is not a small thing, because here is what most people never realize. If birds continue feeding while you are nearby, if they don't flush when you step outside, if they land closer, visit longer, return more often, that is not luck. That is trust. Wildlife has been quietly learning you, your routines, your presence, the particular way you move through your own yard, and making a conscious decision about whether you are safe. You are not just watching birds, they have been watching you. And some of them have already decided you are worth staying near. So if birds are reading your yard like a story, here are 3 changes that rewrite that story immediately. Tip 1. Add moving water and place it where birds can see it from above. Moving water reflects light and creates sound that carries remarkable distances. A simple solar dripper or small fountain keeps water rippling, and that ripple catches UV light in ways visible to birds flying overhead that a still bird bath simply cannot match. Place it in an open area. Birds need clear sight lines before they'll commit to landing somewhere as vulnerable as a water source. Clean water, moving water, open placement. That one addition can transform how your yard appears on a bird's mental map. Tip 2. Add one native plant and let it go slightly wild. To a bird's UV-sensitive eyes, native plants light up differently than ornamental species. They support more insects, more caterpillars, more of the food that actually matters, especially during breeding season when every parent bird is hunting protein, not seeds. You don't need a full garden redesign. One native shrub, one native flowering plant. That small addition seen through a bird's eyes can make your yard look like the most valuable stop on the block. Tip 3. Become predictable. This is the most overlooked factor in backyard birding. Move slowly. Show up consistently. Spend quiet time outside at the same hour each morning. To birds, predictability communicates safety more powerfully than any feeder you could buy. You are not just maintaining a yard. You are slowly and without realizing it, becoming part of the landscape that wild animals have decided to trust. Right now, outside your window, birds may be seeing patterns in your yard that you cannot see, tracking your movements faster than you can process, deciding whether your home is worth remembering, deciding whether you are worth trusting. Most people live their entire lives, never knowing their backyard is part of an entirely different perceptual universe. Now you do. If this changed the way you see the world outside your door, subscribe. Because once you begin understanding how wild animals actually experience the human world, ordinary places never look ordinary again. And next week, that cardinal at your window, the one that keeps coming back day after day no matter what, is it fighting its own reflection? Recognizing something in you, or responding to something far stranger than either? The answer involves territorial biology, long-term memory, and one of the most misunderstood bird behaviors in all of suburban America. I will see you there.